In this video, we will learn CSS behavior in parent-child component. So to understand this behavior, we have to remember the four important points. So the first point is parent CSS can't reach into a child component. Second point is a parent component CSS can style a host element. So host element is the tag that we use to embed the child component in the parent component. The third point is a child component CSS can reach up and style its own host element. So if we don't want to apply the CSS to a host element from the parent, a child component also can apply that CSS. And the fourth point is you can style to an element pass into the slot from the parent component only. So let's go and prove these 4 points. So first point is parent CSS can't reach into the child component. So let's go to our VS Code. Let's create the two components. First component is CSS parent demo. So let's create the second component, CSS child demo. And in the parent component, we're gonna create the card, and I'll say title as CSS composition. And I'll create a padding class, that is SLDS padding around medium. And now what I'm gonna do is I'll create two tags. One is h1 in the parent that says hello, I am parent component, and the same h1 tag I'll go and create in the child HTML, child component HTML. I'll say hello, I'm a child component. Apart from that, what I'm gonna do is I'll create a CSS file in the parent component. I'll create a file CSS parent demo and make sure the file name is same as the folder name with the extension .css, and we'll apply a style to a h1 tag. We'll say font size 30 pixel and we'll say color red. So some styling we have applied to a h1 tag. This h1 tag is available in the parent component h1, and the same h1 tag is available in the CSS child demo HTML. And now let's embed our child component to a parent component, and we call it using c-css-child-demo, and this tag we call technically as host element. So we are using a host element here, and now the child is available. So this h1 will also come when we deploy to here internally behind the scene. And to deploy this, we need to change in the configuration meta file, and let's add that configuration will change is exposed to true, and we'll set the target to a lightning app page. And let's deploy this both component. So now the component is deployed. Let's go to our app. In the app, I'm in the styling in LWC lightning page. I'll go to gear icon and click edit page. And in the app builder, let's search for our component CSS parent demo. Let's place into the right hand side. I'll hit save. Let's go back. And now you can see that only one h1 applied the CSS, so that is our parent h1. This tag is getting red color and the font size 30 pixel, but to the child element we are not able to apply the CSS because that's our rule number 1 that we saw in the slide. Parent CSS can't reach into the child component. So even though the tags are same and the style is applied to a tag, same tag in the parent component, it will not apply to a child component. So that's the first point here, and we proved it. Let's go to the second point. In the second point, we are talking about the host element. A parent component CSS can style a host element. So let's go and apply the style to a host element. So in the parent demo.css, I'll call our child component tag you can copy this tag itself, that is host element. We'll say we want to apply the style. We'll say display block, background color green, and we'll say color white. So let's deploy this now. So now we are applying styling to our host element from the parent style sheet only. And now it's deployed. Let's go and refresh the page. Now you can see that this styling is applied to the host element, and to confirm that this is applied to a host element, you can go to inspect, and in the element you can check into the h1, and in the h1 you can look above the host element, that is c-css style, this child demo. If you click here, you can immediately see on the right hand side the style is applied to this host element, not to the h1. Okay, so that's our second point. Let's go to the slides. Now we'll talk about the third point. The third point says if you don't want to apply the style to a host element from the parent CSS, you can do the same thing to the child CSS. So let's go back. Let's comment this style and let's go to the child CSS. So let's create the child CSS file. We'll say CSS child demo.css and we'll apply the same style that we were using above. Now what we're gonna do is we can't call that tag directly because that tag is not available in our HTML. So there is a new property called colon host. So this will tell whoever be the host of this component get this styling. So just for a difference, I'll change this style background color to red and let's keep the other style as it is and deploy it. So now we will see from the CSS, that child CSS, we can apply the style to a host element using the colon host. Now it's deployed. Let's go and refresh the page. And now you can see that our host is getting the red color and the white that is applied through the child CSS. Another thing that we can do here is if we have two childs, suppose I'll copy paste this child again, and now I want one child to have the red color and the other one to have the blue color. So I can apply the class red or blue, and in the child component based on this class also I can change the host color. So to do that, what we can do is we'll say colon host and we need to type dot our class name, that is blue, and I'll paste this again and I'll change this to red to blue. Let's deploy and see whether our two child host, basically this host element, are getting the different style or not. So the first element should get the red color, the second one should get the blue color, and we are differentiating these two hosts based on the class. So if the host get the class blue, this CSS will apply. If the host doesn't find any class, it will apply this class. So let's go and refresh the page. And now you can see that both hosts are getting different styling. So let's move on to our last point, that is you can style to an element pass into the slot from the parent component only. So let's go and create this as well. So in the child, I'll create a slot that will receive the markup from the parent component, and I'll go to the parent component and I'll say just pass the slot as p hello I am slot, and you can pass or ignore to other element. Let's pass it like hello I am slot 1, hello I am slot 2, like this will pass two slots here. And now to a p tag I want to apply CSS from the child. Okay, let's see if that CSS will apply or not, because we are passing the HTML element to the child, right? So we should able to apply the CSS from the child. So I'll say to the p tag make the font size 20 pixel and change the color to yellow, and let's deploy this. Now the component is deployed. Let's go and refresh the page. And now you can see that the slot is printing correctly, but the color is not yet changed because I already said the fourth point says you can style to element pass into the slot from the parent component only, but we applied the styling to the child. Let's cut this p tag from the child demo.css. Let's paste this into the parent CSS and let's deploy it again. And it's deployed. Let's go back and refresh the page. And now you can see that we are able to apply the styling to a slot element from the parent CSS. So these are the 4 key points to remember whenever we are playing with the CSS parent child component. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video.